This attacker and defender concept is one that could shake up the entire game of Rainbow Six Siege as we know it. What's up guys, DLibs here. Welcome back to another operator concept video. Today we have a submission coming in from Drafe. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. But he submitted this over on my Discord server and he came through. It's an incredible attacker and defender concept and I think they fit really nicely together in my opinion. But before we get any further, make sure you guys go and join that Discord server. The link can be found in the description and one of your operator ideas could be featured in a video just like this one in the future. Or you can just, come by, be a fly on the wall, hang out in the server, whatever. We'd love to have you either way. So yeah, I played around with Drafe's idea and visualized it in this video, and I think it could be one of the best attackers and defenders we have made on this channel. If you don't already know, we have done a bunch of other videos like this one, so you should definitely go check them out right after this. But without further ado, allow me to introduce you to Operation Final Hour. Operation Final Hour brings in two operators from New Zealand. We're gonna get started with our attacker first, Eruptia. Eruptia has a throwable gadget with similar projectile physics as one of Cade's electro claws. These gadgets are called drill impact grenades, or digs for short, and she gets 3 of them per round. Basically, when you throw a dig onto a wall or floor, it will drill through and drop a grenade on the other side, which will explode on impact. Drafe wanted to specify that Eruptia is to fuse, as Ace is to thermite. Pretty much a long-ranged and reworked concept that allows for a lot more playstyle variety. Similar to Fuse's cluster charges, the digs can be thrown onto both soft and reinforced walls, although it will take longer to penetrate a reinforced one obviously. There will also be a decently recognizable sound cue when you pull out your digs to throw, similar to the noise of a defender pulling out a nitro cell, sort of like that ripping noise. Also, when the dig is actively drilling, it will make a loud noise similar to the rumbling noise when one of Ace's Selmas are thrown onto a wall, so it won't necessarily be subtle by any means. It also won't spew out multiple grenades like cluster charges, but rather just one large impact grenade that is slightly larger than that of a defender's impacts. Ideally, this would be great for playing vertical above an objective or even below, but it can also be used as a fragging device. When deployed in close enough proximity to an opponent, it does enough damage to fully kill a 2 armor defender and injure 3 armor defenders. I could see this being helpful to clear out any anchors or utility on the other side of a wall without needing to go all the way up to the wall to deploy anything, so there's no risk there since you can throw it from afar. Now as far as loadout goes, Eruptia has the choice between the G8A1 LMG and the 417 marksman rifle. As for secondaries, she has the GSH-18 and the revolver. For gadgets, she can choose between hard breach charges and stun grenades, and lastly, she is a 3 armor, 1 speed operator. Now we'll talk about how Eruptia can be countered. Her digs obviously shoot out a projectile, so Amai's magnet systems and Jaeger's ADSs are both direct counters to her. Additionally, similar to Fuse when placing his cluster charges, a defender can shoot through a soft wall after a dig has been thrown onto the wall to destroy it. However, once the impact grenade is released, it obviously can't be shot or destroyed through the wall anymore. And lastly, also like Fuse, Mute will be able to jam the digs from activating. Overall, Eruptia doesn't bring a complicated gadget to the table by any means, so bringing a Jaeger or Wamai is really all you need to stop her. Otherwise, she will do some damage though. So that is it for Eruptia. Now moving on to our defender, Muro. I told you about how these operators fit together nicely in the introduction of this video. Well, Muro's gadget is a throwable device, again with similar projectile physics as one of Cade's electro claws, and it latches onto soft walls and can reinforce them. This is an idea that people have been talking about and playing around with for years now, and I think Drafe did a really good job of making it a realistic possibility in Rainbow Six Siege. The gadgets are called lock sheets, and Muro gets 3 of them per round. The gadget itself being thrown is a little larger than a nitro cell. If a lock sheet gets thrown onto an already reinforced wall or a surface that can't be reinforced, you can pick up the device similar to one of Ace's Selmas. The lock sheets will take about 2.5 seconds to fully deploy on a wall or hatch, and walls reinforced by lock sheets will also be distinguishable from a normal reinforcement, so attackers will easily be able to identify between the two. Drafe wanted to add that he sees this ability being useful to reinforce quickly in the prep phase, cut off rotates in the late round, or just be extra utility at the very least, since it gives you 13 total reinforcements as a team. Drafe also says that he thinks Muro would be a good roamer since his loadout, which we'll talk about in a second, allows him to create rotate holes so he could quickly move around the map, reinforce as needed, things of that nature. But now as for his loadout, he has the choice between the 9x19 VSN or the M590A1 shotgun. For secondaries, he has the SMG-11 and the IDA-12S shotgun. As for gadgets, he actually is pretty strong with the choice between proximity alarms and impact grenades. Lastly, he is a 2-speed, 2-armor operator. And now we'll lay out all of Muro's direct counters to his lock sheets. Since they are effectively reinforcements, they can of course be hard breached like normal. Additionally, the lock sheets can be shot while being deployed since there is a 2.5 second long animation. However, once the animation is finished, the lock sheets become bulletproof reinforcements just like your typical reinforcement that, any defender can deploy. So aside from the blatantly obvious hard breaching operators like Thermite, Ace, and Habana, there aren't any hard counter attackers who can stop Muro. Now we're not done yet. I do like to do map concepts for these operation concept videos. So New Zealand has a lot of great architecture, so I think there's a lot of interesting possibilities there. And because of this, I was actually trying to find some real life places in New Zealand rather than, using Photoshop's AI service, which is what I used to do to generate ideas. It just works a little bit better. But for this, I went and found some really cool places, and this is the one that I actually think I like the most. It is New Zealand's Parliament building, and I'm showing a photo that I found of it on screen now. I think this photo sort of encompasses everything sort of well. So from what I understand, this building is in their capital, Wellington, but I don't know, if you're from New Zealand, correct me if I'm wrong. It sort of has a bank or a consulate feel to it, like, the big pillars and things like that. So I think it would probably be a larger map with a lot of open area. So, but don't get too upset about that. I know a lot of people don't like the large map feel that a lot of new maps do have, but I think it would be more like an old school large map, like how I said, sort of like that bank or consulate feel rather than a closed off layer, sort of more open area. I also would want it to have a lot of possibility for vertical gameplay to suit the attacker Eruptia, but I overall think this would be a really cool idea that would fit in well with Operation Final Hour and our operators Eruptia and Muro. Overall, I think both of these operators fit together really nicely and would both be game-changing, especially the defender Muro. Let me know what you guys would change about either of these concepts down in the comments, or maybe what you really liked about either. Again, I want to give a massive shout out to Drafe for submitting both of these ideas on the Discord server, and I do again want to urge you guys to press that link in the description to join the Discord. You don't have to have an entire elaborate attacker and defender concept. If you guys just have an idea you want to submit, you can just tell me what the general idea is and we can work on it together, or if you just want to join and chill, talk about video games, whatever, I definitely think that you guys should check it out no matter what. These operator concept videos do take a while to put together, so please maybe consider subscribing and liking if you can. It helps out a bunch. But besides for that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.